is Collector Sleuth, and today I have something a little bit different. I have two items that I believe are prototypes from the Bradford Exchange. The first item I'm going to do is this Jack skeleton head out of a pumpkin here. And when this first was advertised, I have the advertisement still. I had the presence of mind to keep that. This was from 2007, so that's over 10 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long ago, but it has. And this is an ad called the Head of Halloweentown that they sent out, and I did order one of these and received a letter maybe like a month or so later saying that they weren't going to produce it due to quality issues. And so I found this one on eBay, and it was pretty pricey. I'm pretty sure it's a prototype because these were not released. If they were, I would have gotten one. I tried to order one and they weren't going to produce them after all. So this one may even be the one from the ad even. And on the bottom, it even says down here, it has a sticker. It says sample, not for resale. So this is a sample item. So I do believe that this was the prototype that was made for this ad, and they just didn't, for some reason, didn't think they could ship these and in a manner to where they wouldn't constantly be damaged. So there were some damages to this when I purchased it online. I purchased it from a guy in Illinois, and so I'm in Indiana, so it didn't travel too far, and luckily nothing broke in transit, because as you can see, this thing is very detailed. And a lot of very small parts on here, and I was very worried that more pieces would break. But when I looked at the photos on eBay before I purchased it, I did notice some damages to start with. And the first one is down here. You see the little girl with the vampire teddy, and there's a set of little bitty shoes right there. And that's supposed to be the little boy with the shrunken head. I think they call him Timmy. And here he is in the ad. So he is missing. And then another thing is Jack here is holding some plans. Christmas plans or Halloween plans, I can't really tell. Looks like Halloween plans. I see a pumpkin and a skull face. So he's got some Halloween plans in his hand. Mine, it was completely broken. It was gone. And so I just added an arm using some epoxy putty. And I added a little like a Christmas bulb in his hand because it's going to be way too hard to replicate that paper. My skills are very limited. I'm not a professional by any means on repairing things. So I just added an arm and a bulb just so it wouldn't look odd. Usually I don't alter items. This being a one-of-a-kind and this being like a simple fix that could easily be undone, I just went ahead and did it just for looks. Also, you can see that Shock and Barrel are here, but Lock is missing. There's his shoes, and I just painted them green to kind of hide it a little bit since he is not there. And that to make him out of modeling clay or something, I'm not that talented. I don't think I could do it. Maybe I could. It just wasn't worth the time for such a small detail that you're probably not going to see anyway. He's right there. Though I hate that he's missing. If I was going to make anybody, I would definitely do him over any of the other pieces missing, because they are a trio, and him not being there is kind of a bummer. And I don't have any small little figurines I can glue in his place that are that small, because they're really, really small. Like, see, about the size of my fingernail there. That would be really hard to make something that small and to find a little figurine that I can just glue on there. So I just left it the way it is. Dr. Finkelstein, for some reason they had his gloves as white. That drove me crazy. So I just went ahead and painted them black with some acrylic paint. And in the picture you can see where they're white. The gloves were white. And so I went ahead and colored those black. It was just a simple thing to do. And here the witch's hat was originally broken off. I just added, once again, some epoxy modeling, or some, what's that stuff called? You can get it from a auto store, an auto parts store. It's some kind of plastic weld. I think that's what it's called, actually. Plastic weld stuff that I use. I'm sure there's other things that would be like modeling clay or something else that can be used, but that's what I used, as it's also an adhesive. So I went ahead and made a little hat for her. Didn't quite get it tall enough, but it's better than nothing. So I did that, and I think that's pretty much all the changes I made. I might have... Oh, and a cat tail. This kitty cat's tail over here was gone, and I added a little bitty tail there. And other than that, though, that was all the damages that it had, and that was from the get-go. That wasn't in shipping. It was already, when I purchased it off eBay, those were already damaged and missing. And so nothing else, fortunately, became damaged in shipment. I was afraid there would be. But it actually shipped. He did a nice job packing it. It's a bummer that Bradford Exchange, then it was called Collectibles Today, as you can see in the ad, and then they changed over to Bradford Exchange. It's too bad they didn't make this. It's from the Hamilton collection, and it is really cool. As you can see, look at all the detail down here. You've got the mayor and Sally in front of this stone wall here, and a vampire and the teddy. They got the teddy again here with the little girl. And they had a little boy here, but he's gone, as noted, as I mentioned. And here's Jack in Christmastown. And then here's Jack. Oh, I think I might have repaired this snowman. I think I did. I think I added this piece to the top hat it was missing. And here's Jack. And as you can see why they didn't produce these due to quality issues. There were a lot of small parts that came off. Got Jack and the Snowman here. Dr. Finkelstein, Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Lock is missing, unfortunately. And then you have Santa here in the bag. And you got the witches here, up here on the vines. And up here you got some more Halloween citizens making some Christmas gifts. Jack and Sally on top of the hill. The only problem I have with this part is that looks like they added the icicles, which is fine since during this scene there were icicles on the hill, but they colored the hill blue instead of white. Like the hill was covered in snow in the movie, which I like the blue color as far as the whole piece goes. I think the color looks more like a stem would look versus the stark white. But then if they were going to do that, I wish they would have just left the icicles completely off, because it looks odd to me that this is blue and a bluish gray, purpley blue gray, and then they add icicles with no snow. So I don't know. It just something I probably wouldn't have bothered with. And then here's the clown with the tearaway face, and another Jack over here, and a Sally, and Zero and Oogie Boogie poking out the side here. So there's lots of stuff going on, and I love the pumpkin patch vine work here. I think it looks really cool. It just adds more dimension and detail. And I love that the pumpkin looks like Jack's face. I thought they did a really nice job on that. It actually looks like him. And then there's some leaves on the back. And this thing is just I love the colors. It's just really cool. It's just too bad that they did not make this. I was lucky to get it off eBay. Somebody had it, and I just happened across it. This was a place for an adapter. I don't have an adapter, unfortunately, for this. And I don't know what type it would take. And so I'm afraid to damage the item by picking an adapter that's not correct. And so on the bottom, it does have the option for batteries, which is what I went and did, so I don't have an adapter. Down here, so I'm just going to turn this on and you guys can see kind of what it does. And on the back there's a switch right here. And so it does some kind of maniacal laughing and this really annoying sound. I'm going to turn the lights off. And it does this like light blinking thing. I really wish that it actually did something from the movie, whether it be music or dialogue or something of that nature, versus what they've chosen to do. Is Halloween. It's just creepy sounds and everything like that. But it's just comes off as more annoying than anything else. So I kind of wish they would have done something else with that, but it being a prototype and them not producing it, I guess it really doesn't matter. And I just won't bother to turn the thing on. But it is really cool. Just wanted to share that with you. If you guys have seen one of these before, maybe there's another prototype floating out there. I'd like to hear about it. If you do have one, that would be really cool to hear about that. And I'm going to go ahead and take the batteries out so I don't forget, because I don't want that to corrode. And then this one here I got just a couple months ago. And I just happened across this one on eBay as well. I don't really surf eBay that often, so I was very lucky to see this one. I actually don't know what this is. I've not seen an ad for it. I've not seen an item for this. It almost looks like a paint-it-yourself type thing, but I don't think it is. It's too, it's pretty detailed. I thought about painting it myself, but then if it is a prototype, I didn't want to alter it. Also, this thing would be hard, very difficult. Like I said, I'm not skilled in that way. I can do a little bit, but this would take a huge undertaking, and it would take me forever. And I'm not sure how well it would turn out. And once you start, there's no going back. So I was too afraid to paint it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, but it is starting to get some scuff marks and some yellowing, which is why I kind of wanted to paint it to protect it more, but I'll probably just leave it as it is. But anyway, the reason I believe that this is a prototype is because there's no identifying markers on it. I've never seen it before. So if you guys have seen this before, I'd like to know about it, whether you have an ad or you just know where it came from. But on the bottom, as you can see, there is nothing identifying as to what it is. And it does light up. So I'm going to light it up real quick. Well, it did. Must have removed the batteries. Let me get some batteries in here. No, it's got batteries. Oh, there it goes. Well, it did for a second. There. Lights up down there. Can't hardly see it. There it goes. So that's it. It just only has lights there in the front. The translucent pumpkins in the back, they don't. I thought maybe they lit up. I don't think they do. Seems like they would, but they're not appearing to light up, so I'm not sure if it's because this item's just damaged, or if they just, I can't see if there's any bulbs back there. But anyway, if you can see inside there, there's the hill back there. You got Jack and Sally handing out treats to these little kids here in the front. You got the corpse child, mummy, boy, and bat kid back there. And so this is really cool. I really wish it was painted. I think this thing would be really, really neat. I like the design. I like how Jack looks. I think that's a really good looking Jack. Sometimes, especially from the Bradford Exchange, it's hit or miss whether how good he looks. But he looks good here. At least in my opinion, he does. His neck might be a little bit on the long side, but actually I'm not sure that it is. So it is pretty cool. And the reason I believe that this is from the Bradford Exchange, and I do believe it's a prototype, because if it wasn't, I would know about it. I would know would have purchased it from them, because I do check that site periodically. It's possible it could have been a mail-in. So if any of you guys have any information on this piece and know who made it, if it has been officially produced, that would be great, because I would like to purchase one that's complete, painted and all. But the reason I believe it came from the Bradford Exchange is because I have this piece. This is a train piece. This goes on a train piece. And the bottom part, it goes on a bottom part that goes around the track. But anyway, yeah, see, Hawthorne is from Hawthorne Village. This is the second issue in this train set, which I do have the complete train set, which I might show in a future video. But right now, the reason I grabbed this piece is because if you look here, you have Jack, Sally, and the three kids, except for you have the Cyclops versus the Mummy. And you can see how extremely similar this is. If you look at this real good, and then you look at this one. There are some differences, but not a whole lot. The kids are still holding bags, and if you look very closely, it's not painted, so it's hard to see. the bags have the same designs on them. You got a jack-o'-lantern and a bat on those bags, and you have a jack-o'-lantern and a bag on these. He's got a, see if we can't see the mummy. Yeah, he's got the skull one, I can see it. And then Sally's holding a basket, and Jack is holding the skull in his hand with some candies in his hand. He's also doing that here. Same skull, same candy, same basket. The only difference is this has the jack-o'-lanterns and the tombstones. Jack's got his foot resting on the jack-o'-lantern. Here it's on the floor. So, other than that, I mean, the stances are the same, and these are reversed. They're facing opposite directions. They're going this way, and these guys are going this way. And that's the only differences I'm seeing. They swapped out the Cyclops for the mummy, which I like because he's a kid, and the Cyclops was not. But other than that, I mean, the design is pretty much the same. So that's why I think this came from the Bradford exchange. It's possible some other company used the same design, but I highly doubt it. So I do believe this came from the Bradford exchange. I do believe it's a prototype. I got it off eBay, so I don't know. And here's the back. You can see there's some scuffing on here, and some yellowing to his bow tie, or at least a different colored plastic or resin. This feels like resin. Sorry about that little jump in the video. I had to go get a drink of water. But anyway, I know that I think our comments are turned off because we have the settings set for kids, and YouTube disables the comments for that purpose. I'm going to see if I can't make some setting changes for at least this video so that you guys can comment, because I am very interested on hearing your comments for these two pieces. If you've seen any, or what your thoughts are on them, or if you guys just want to comment about them. Especially this one, I'd like to have some more information on. And I think that's going to conclude this video, guys. These are just the two pieces I wanted to show you today. Both, I believe, that one I know for sure is a prototype. This one I believe is. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.